No, I do remember saying I was gonna have like 1 or 2 of these just until Christmas. I've had about 6 in the last half an hour. You know, making videos is hard work. Netflix. What we all turn to after a long day of work, school, or whatever you do. Now, many people don't know the answer to the question, is Netflix worth it in 2019? So in this episode I aim to answer that. Roll that intro. Hey, it's AKAJK. We have an episode today where I'm going to review the infamous streaming platform known as Netflix, to show all you viewers at home whether or not it's worth it in 2019. Before I get started, obviously, I gotta let you know, all social medias at AKAJKYT, make sure you have followed me. Without further ado, let's jump in. So I'm going to categorize this into several sections and give it a rating out of 10 for each one. So the sections that Netflix is going to be rated on are content, layout and aesthetics, pricing, algorithm, and extra features. Let's jump in. So personally, I would say the content is the most important category. Now, if anyone doesn't understand what content means in this context, it's essentially the films and TV shows available on the platform. So this category is really subjective to whichever country that you are living in. I live in the UK, so this episode is really going to be subjective to Netflix UK. So right off the bat, Netflix does have a pretty wide variety of content. Obviously, Netflix does make their own shows like House of Cards, Stranger Things, and a series of unfortunate events, along with their own Netflix original films like To All the Boys I've Loved Before and Mowgli the Legend of the Jungle. So all of the Netflix originals would be available in whichever country that you live in. But aside from that, Netflix has a wide variety of content. So let me give you a few disclaimers. The Godfather trilogy doesn't seem to be available. The Grinch wasn't available. None of the Home Alones were available, and the Rocky saga, which was really disappointing, wasn't available. I'm pretty sure the Godfather trilogy is available in the US, and a lot of things come on from time to time and then get shut, and don't come on and then get removed from Netflix and come back on, like limited releases, things like that. So you gotta be checking Netflix and directories all the time. Overall, I believe this is the best platform in terms of content, so I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Number 2 is layout and aesthetics. This is basically how the platform looks when you open it and how it's laid out in terms of what it shows you first and the kind of categories that it shows you. So this starts out with previews at the top, which are kind of like Instagram or Snapchat stories, and you just tap through them and you can see the bar finishing at the top. That's pretty good, so you can see some short clips from each TV show or film that it recommends for you. Then you move on to your list, which you've saved, and things that you want to watch. And then it starts giving you these personalized categories like recommended, and then things like action, drama, Netflix originals, political, things like that. And just you go through them. According to what you watch, it will start showing you more of that, and sort of the film and TV show genres that you like more, and that you rate. If you say you liked, if you click like on Lord of the Rings, it will show you more films like Lord of the Rings. If you hit dislike on Lord of the Rings, it will stop showing you films like Lord of the Rings. So it's got a similar to YouTube algorithm, but I'll talk more about algorithm later on in the video. But this one, I would say, is not as personalized or as specific as I'd like, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Category 3 is pricing. This is the big short part where everyone cares about to see how much the platform costs. So, we have $5.99, $7.99, $9.99, and $11.99. I don't know, $9.99 is like premium, and $7.99 standard, and the other one's ultra. I use the $11.99 ultra, but it's probably not as worth it as the $9.99 premium because the only difference is ultra HD and better sound quality. Now, $9.99 is great for families. It allows 4 devices at once. The additional audio and video quality is not really that major, so I wouldn't recommend going with Ultra. So the $9.99 Premium is probably the best for families with more than 2 or 3 people, because you can watch at 4 devices at once, gives you full HD and all that kind of jazz. The $7.99 is great for single or couples, because you can watch up to 2 devices at once, full HD, great audio, and all that kind of jazz. Now, the cheap $5.99 one doesn't have full HD. If you're really on a budget, you can go with it. If your Wi-Fi is bad, maybe that would be the one to go with it, because even with the Ultra package, you wouldn't even be able to watch the Ultra HD content just because of your Wi-Fi. If you're in that kind of scenario, then maybe the $5.99 is worth it, but I just really wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Now, in terms of pricing, if I compare it to, let's say, Amazon Prime, that costs $7.99, I believe, but it does come with Amazon Prime, like free 1-day delivery, and some of them has 2-hour delivery. It comes with the Prime Video, which gives you like kind of Netflix competitor, and several other things with Prime. So you do get a lot of other stuff, but Amazon Prime's content library is much smaller. They do have a few great original shows of their own, but overall content library is much smaller compared to Netflix. So the pricing gets a 8 out of 10. Pretty great in comparison to many other platforms. Now, category number 4 is the algorithm. So the display algorithm I did cover, that was okay. The display algorithm was okay, that was scary, okay. So the display algorithm, I just discussed that, covered it, it was pretty okay-ish, nothing amazing. This one is more on the search algorithm. I don't think it's good. Just purely the search, a lot of the time I can't find, let's say I've searched, I think which one's the real example? It was like a series of unfortunate events. I couldn't find it on someone else's account, my sister's one of them. I could find it on mine, and then I found it on mine, but it's just weird. Sometimes you find it on some, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it is available on Netflix, but then you can't find it when searching. Some things you can only see in your recommended, but they can't show up on search, so it's really weird and complicated. It's just, you need to get over that learning curve of the search. I don't think the search features are that good, so I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 10. Now, number 5 is the extra features category. So, the first one would be at the start of every single show that you watch, like the episode, you'll be greeted with a skip intro, which is really good and beneficial for shows that you've seen the intro 100 times, around like season 6, whatever. You don't want to hear that intro again, skip it, and it's done. It just moves right to the first second of the actual show. And also you get a skip to next episode at the end of every episode once the credits roll, or it will give you like a 5-second timer. If you don't click, it will skip. If you click continue, then you can complete the credits. Let's say there's a post-credit scene or whatever, then you can skip to there, or just you want to see the rest of the credits, you just can click continue. Most of the time people don't, so that's why it automatically skips into the next episode. Unless it's beneficial for Netflix. If you watch more, you spend more time, and binge more, use Netflix more. So it's beneficial for them. You can also get updates on shows that you like. For example, a series of unfortunate events at the top. It says season 3 is coming out soon, which is exciting, January the 1st. If you haven't seen a series of unfortunate events, don't be fooled by its sort of childish antics in the kind of display. It's a very fun and entertaining show, family friendly and all that kind of jazz. Definitely recommend it, along with a ton of other shows that I've talked about in this episode. So you're also able to split an account into several sub-accounts. For example, we have one account which my dad sort of paid for and everything, and then we split it into my dad, mom, me, and my sister, so whoever, and then a family account. So the TV's on family account, and then my dad is on his account, my mom's on hers, my sister's on hers, and I'm on mine. So on the TV, we just go into the family account, which has kind of recommendations according to what we all like, and everyone else gets their own kind of algorithm according to what they like. So it's kind of, they can see the shows that they want and stuff like that. Much easier, much better for a workaround, because everyone in the family likes different content. So this extra features thing gets a definite solid 10 out of 10. Really great on this part. Overall, I do think Netflix is something that you should invest in if you haven't already. Unless you really are sort of hardcore with Movie Pass or something like that, if you're in America and you go to like the movies every other day or something. Netflix is just something I would recommend you get, unless you're pirating or buying Blu-rays and DVDs all the time. It's just really still, Netflix is beneficial. You can watch all the shows, you can watch with your family, stuff at home, binge watch whenever you want, on demand. Even with bad Wi-Fi, it works really well. You can have subtitles, great audio quality, great video quality, has a large selection of content, and it's just overall a great package for the price. I would recommend $9.99 for families, $7.99 for single people or couples, and $11.99 read the audio file kind of person, which is if you have the $11.99, and $5.99 if you have crap Wi-Fi. You're just really, really scraping the money, but you want Netflix. That's about it for this episode. Hopefully you did enjoy it. The video file for this is like 30 minutes long because I went down and up and down and drank some water and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Probably, I don't know when. I don't know when. Like 6 p.m. tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And I'll see you tonight because here at AKJK, the grind is daily.